You are listening to 4Geeks podcast. We talk about business, technology, and provide advice on how entrepreneurs can grow their companies. Hope you enjoyed this conversation.
Hello everyone and welcome to the new episode of the 4Geeks podcast. Today is a special day. We are with Ivan. Ivan is a developer here, engineer. He helps us on different products. He does a lot of code per day. And with me, as always, Allan. Allan, Ivan, how are you?
Hey Sergio, I'm fine. I'm pretty excited to talk about the 4Geeks Pearl development cycle, and that's why Ivan is with us.
Hello, Sergio, and everyone. I'm really excited to be here, and let's begin.
Cool. Okay, perfect. Yeah, as Allan said, the topic today is the product development cycle that we deliver or we use here at 4Geeks, which with every project we have, right? So, with no more words, I would like to start by the first step of every product, every idea, and it's the brainstorming, the idea per se. Like to start talking with myself, for example, and start creating the main idea, the ideas that I want to put in my project, in my following project. What do you think about different ways to do the brainstorming? I know Allan did some business model canvas, something like that in the past. I don't know if it's related about the brainstorming or not.
Yeah, that's right. Well, for me, brainstorming is one of the most important steps in all the 4Geeks product development cycle, because it's like the main filter for your idea and for your product. So that's right. The vision model canvas is a canvas for filtering some ideas and for filtering some areas related to the business. For example, in the business model canvas, you can think a little more about the customer segments, or about the customer relationships, or about your distribution channels, or about your key resources, or your key partners, or your key activities. And I think all that information can help us to have a strong idea. So if you want to learn more about the vision model canvas, just go to the 4Geeks blog, and you can find Zoom. A blog post about the 4Geeks Pro development cycle, and you will get a link to download business model canvas. You can print a copy and spend some time on the brainstorming. But what do you think about the brainstorming, Ivan?
Okay, the brainstorming is, for me, is the main thing that you need to do in a project. Why? Okay. Because there is a lot of ideas, right? But you need to filter the right ideas. You need to know what are you going to do, because if you want to make a bus, you are not going to use a motor for a plane, for example. You need to have a center point a center point to know what are you going to do.
Yeah, that's totally right. I think the brainstorming can help us to find out the differentiational keys of our product between our competition and us. You know, like to have the key differentiator for us. What are we doing different than the competition there? I think this is on the brainstorming side. Like to have the real scope of our project, and I think also that some people just forget about it, and they want to start coding. They want to start like with the basic idea, like saying, okay, my idea is something similar like X product, and that's it. But no,
The new Uber, the new Spotify.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we have to go further to create the basis. So some days ago, I talked to a client, and he told me that the coding part is the easy one, the smaller one and the easy one, because all of these steps are difficult to do. The brainstorming, like to have the real scope and the business model. So totally agree with you guys that this is very important, and we have to highlight this to start with a successful project, right? That's what I understand from your words.
Yeah, and I think, Sergio, I think that we need to highlight the value proposition ideas, because maybe you can get a good idea, but that idea can be solved by Uber, or can be solved by another existed startup or another project running right now. Maybe the value propositions can make us to the. I think the value propositions. I think the value propositions can is like make us to do a better project than the first idea we got.
Yeah, it's like to improve the
Exactly.
idea that we wrote.
Exactly. At the first time, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, what do we do next? So basically, when the idea is under a scope, when we have all the ideas, as Alan said, put it together, organized it, well, we go to the UX, which is basically to mock up our product, like to put it on the workflow of the user experience under the application, under the website, under whatever. So, what do you think about the importance of the UX? Because if personally, I think this is crucial as well, because you can see directly how your product will looks like without any style, right?
Yes. Actually, you need to know what your users are going to be. For example, if they are elder people, they need software that is more compatible to them, with large buttons, big menus, and big font size, etc.
Yeah, but I think the UX is more than, that you say, it's more than look and feel. It's like
it's how we show the information.
Yeah, but I think is the how the customer feels using the product. How the customer feels using the product. For example, you can do a US task in the common in a common cab driving, for example. The Uber, for example, Uber make a strong UX. And I'm talking about UI. I'm talking about the customer experience. For example, the water. For example, the music. For example, the candies. For example, the mobile application and all this stuff can improve the UX or a customer experience.
So you're saying that the UX is more than mock-ups, more than put something on paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're saying that it's something that we can test. Okay, yeah. That's good. That's good, because more of or most of the products required human interaction, obviously, right? So we have to test it as well. As Ivan said, he said that, for example, if the website is for older people or for millennials, the user experience is different.
Yes.
We have to show the information different, and we have to put the things different. Not about the colors, not about the look and feel stuff, but about how we show everything on the website or on the app, and also how the users will interact besides the website with our product like Uber, right?
Actually, maybe I didn't explain so well, but my point was that the product has to be totally related to the client, so to the users. So if, for example, I'm a millennial, if someone tries or show me software that is related to, I don't know, maybe people for 15 years, 50 years, sorry, or more, maybe for me it's like, okay, that's useful for them, but I don't like it. It's older. It seems weird. It's different, and I can't get used to it.
Yeah, probably you will see it like ugly or something like that because we are more used to have nice things.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay?
How a software engineer can thinking in UX?
Well, I think that's a workday stuff, most of the time, and I'm talking about Ivan or for Ivan, he tends to do it day by day. He needs to put on the user's shoes sometime to create code. That's something people don't understand about the developers, about that they already have to put on the user's shoes to create their software, even if they doesn't share the customization or the experience, right? Because they are not in the same client situation. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So with the UX and having the ideas, the next step is the MVP. MVP is not monsters versus
Person.
versus persons, but is minimum viable product. Okay, so basically an MVP is the way to test our idea, our UX. Okay, so how can we do MVPs, Alan?
I think the MVP, well, MVP means minimum viable product, and MVP is all the minimal features that your product can be for in production.
So testing ideas.
Testing ideas, getting feedback is
Okay.
is not about traction. It's not about getting paid customers. It's not about money. It's about feedback.
Okay.
It's about it's about feedback. It's about get know about what my customer thinks or what my customer says about my product. And
So probably you won't get rich without an MVP.
no.
Okay.
It's that I say is the maybe is not to make money.
Yep.
It's just to know what my customer think or what my customer say about my product. For example, when a customer or when a client have an idea and comes to 4Geeks, maybe they don't know what they want. And an MVP can be the clarify factor, because with the MVP, the owner and the customer can get know better what they want for the product. But yeah,
And you said something important about the feedback. How can we filter that feedback? Because, I mean, we can receive thousands of suggestions on improving our system that probably if we applied all of them, we can almost build a new different software, right? So how can we filter that?
by priority. By priority. In the MVP, when you get feedback, for example, and you know that your goal is I don't know, making making improvements in the UI or in the UX, or making improvements in the transactional areas or transactional task. When you get feedback, your customers and your users can send us how they feel using the current features.
Okay.
Maybe the users can say us, hey Alan or hey Ivan, please add these new features, or please add these new areas, so please support these new integrations, or whatever. But the MVP is not about a huge monster. It's about a small product. Smaller is better. Smaller is better.
In this stage, there is a really important question: is how we are going to say to the client, to the user or to the client, that the thing that she or he wants is not possible, or it's going to be against the final product. For example, a user or a client wants that the software wants to make coffee, for example. Mm-hmm. That's impossible, right? But there are some people that doesn't know about how the computers are working, and they only think that this is magic and you only need to press some keys and ta-da, that's it. How you say, okay, no, that's not possible, that's against the product.
Yeah, how do you respond to the feedback? Yeah. That's what you're saying. Well, in an MVP, I think we have to be really clear that we are not charging most of the time, right? Mm-hmm. We are not making money about it. Mm-hmm. So the more clear you are, I think it's the best. So you can receive feedback knowing your possible clients or your current customers of the MVP that the feedback is received, but it's not implemented if not needed, if it is not needed, right? So if we are just communicating the things as they are, I think we are okay. When you test, or I've been testing some MVPs in the past from 4Geeks and other MVPs around the world, and most of the time I gave them some feedback, but it's for like how to improve the workflow of the application. Mm-hmm. Like to know, I think it's better if you reduce the amount of links on the header or something like that. So if someone is asking to create coffee. Well, we just have to tell them that it's not possible, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, I think we have to be clear with our possible future clients, right? Mm-hmm. To tell them about what is the scope of our project. Uh-huh. If we have clear the scope of our project, we can tell to our client what is the scope.
It's a scope and project and the target.
Yeah, exactly. So that's for MVP. Now, the next step is like to paint all the stuff we have been doing, right?
The UI.
To have color, to put it nice. So, user interface. What is user interface?
I mean, it's very clear.
Yeah.
It's not much to say. User interface is the user interface, you know. Is
fonts, colors,
animations, background sizes, and sounds. But what do you need to do to say about the UI?
About the UI, okay, it's related to all the last steps that we was talking about, because the UI needs to be needs to stay with the client. Like, for example, if the client doesn't want big buttons, you are not going to do big buttons. So it's
okay. There is some.
I forgot the word. Continue.
I think there is some standards. For example, the material design, the Google material design. I don't know what's the foundation.
Bootstrap is still alive.
Bootstrap from Twitter. awesome font.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of frameworks out there that
Yeah.
that the designers can do.
Can use.
But Ivan, do you like to to do UI?
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
I really like it because it's like the most important part for the user.
Yeah, because it's what they see.
Yes, they don't know how it's working the software. They only need two things. If it's working, it's fast, or three things. It's working, it's fast, and it's beautiful. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't need to know everything else, and they don't want to.
Yeah, they doesn't need.
And what's your favorite tools or your favorite frameworks or your favorite standards work in the
Okay.
UI part?
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap.
This framework, Bootstrap Foundation, also from the what I said before, and CSS Grid. And
Okay.
there's a lot of tools. Adobe for colors. Adobe has this palette with all the colors, and you can make combination and everything. And an important thing in this stage is that you need to know what is the color personality. Because if you are going to do something for a bakery, for example, you are not going to use dark colors. It's not related to a bakery. You need more lively colors.
Yeah, in the UI part, maybe we can detail more in the stronger frameworks
Yeah.
like Angular or like React or like another front end
Vue.
front end frameworks. Yeah, for building complex views, you know. But maybe we can talk more about.
It's a huge topic, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
about
So
this
definitely-
in a new episode.
Okay,
you know?
that's fine. Okay, now after colors, there's the easy part. Ivan is watching
your
me
part,
like
Ivan, that's your
weird.
part.
Yeah, the coding.
Try your head.
We all love to code, and that's where the dreams comes true, right?
Yeah.
Where the functionalities of all of this hard work are like presented and working.
That's the magic.
Yeah, that's the magic. So Ivan, how you feel about the code? About how do we need to code to create a strong product? What are the responsibility of the developer in this step?
Okay, for me, it has to be the best thing that you need to do, because if you're going to do some code that is work, yeah, but it's really slow, the
Famous
client-
spaghetti code.
or spaghetti code, or oh my god, there is a lot of I have a lot of samples right now. But okay, I'm going to continue. There are a lot of anti-patterns that are not compatible with a good process. Why? Because if this product needs an update or a great process, if you are going to maintain the code, it's going to be impossible. And maybe you need to invest more time, maybe double time or triple time to make the code again from zero, because the code wasn't good. So you need to refactor everything. You need to create something that, okay, it was there before, but it's not going to work anymore. So it's for a good software engineer, they need to know what is the main thing to say, the main thing in a process, and I think that the code needs to be
Global.
no global, no global, no. It has to, the code in every situation the code is going to grow. So that code needs to be available to do that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you in 100%. The idea of the engineer is not easy, because we have to go through the best solution for a specific situation, right? So you have to search to figure out how to do new things. That's really excited when you have a problem and there's no solution over the internet, so you have to figure out how to do it.
There's no answer in Stack Overflow.
You are screwed, man. You're right, and that's pretty good. So, what happens when the code have to be tested? How do you feel about it?
It's like a kick in the stomach because you think that everything is right. Okay, QA, do your thing. And it's like, this is bad, this is bad, this is
You are
wrong.
very
Everything
confident.
is wrong. Oh my God, I need to do everything again. But it's the day, a normal day in a cycle life.
Yeah, because there are products really huge,
Yeah.
and there are lots of situations, and having this testing part, I think it's crucial for delivering products that are 100% running up and running, right? So it's really important as the coding part is important. I know that, but we have to test it
Actually-
manually and automated, right?
Yeah. Actually, testing for me is really important because when you are creating code, you only think about your stages, your scenarios, and that's it. But clients could do a lot more. That maybe I was pressing enter 30 times and this happened, or something like that. That you say, okay, that's impossible, but clients can. So in this testing area, the people are going to do the best that they think, or the best that they could do in at that moment, for find that a lot of scenarios that could happen, some things like that. For example, there's a curious story about a car company that a client said, my car starts to fail when I'm going to buy vanilla ice cream, and only with vanilla ice cream. And he started to send a lot of emails, he started to make a lot of calls to the company, and nobody takes importance of that because, okay, the car was failing for vanilla ice cream, right? It's totally impossible. But one day someone tried to pay attention to that, and he went with the client. He found that when the client was to the store and he wanted to buy vanilla ice cream, he lost a little bit more, and that was affecting the motor in a negative form. So when he started to put the engine on, or to start the engine, it wasn't working. So it wasn't the ice
related
cream.
about the ice cream.
It wasn't related, but it was a mistake. It was an error, defect
cool.
in the product.
Okay.
So well, it was vanilla ice cream. And there's a lot of more stories.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think this is the place where the testers are, right? Like they have to be between the developers and between the
users.
client.
Guys,
Clients.
and what about the relations between the coders team and the testers team?
I think the human relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah, it have to be very communicative,
Like a marriage.
and clear. Yeah,
must to be in the same building.
I think yes, because the communication is really important. The testers have to communicate efficiently how to reproduce a bug or what is going wrong there. So if they are sitting in the same building, I think it's the best situation we can have for improvement communication.
So quickly, right?
Yeah, quickly, and we can affront difficult bugs easier. You know, it's better to have someone at your right and showing your screen what you are seeing than creating a call and try to put on the same page.
Explain.
Yeah. So I think if we are on the same building, it's better, right? We do remote at some days or some points, but we create the relationship here.
Okay.
And that's what I think it's important. Ivan has a good relationship with the QA team, so I think we don't have that problem, right, Ivan?
No,
Cool,
we don't
cool.
have a problem.
Excellent, man.
That's a new episode. That's a new episode.
Testers and developers, the true story, something like that. We have it right.
Life story.
True story.
Okay, well, with everything of this is done, we can go to production without pain, right? We are confident about our code, we are confident about our testing, and we are confident about our idea. So the product release is where everything is there, with everything is showed to the world. There's a lot of ways to go live, to go to production. That this is another episode of the 4Geeks podcast for sure. But Ivan, for you, how do you feel when the product is released, when something huge or feature is released? Is fear? Would you have fear,
No.
or you are like, oh man, yeah?
At the beginning,
It's my job.
at the beginning, I felt a lot of fear, right? Because it's like, oh my God, my code, maybe it's going to broken everything.
Someone is going to broke it.
Yeah, everything's going to be on fire. A lot of messages, and all the things that happen in that stage. But now it's like, okay, the code is out. I hope that the client was expecting about the code, and if something wrong happens, I need to fix it. But I don't stress.
Now
with
it's
that.
normal. Now it's normal.
Yeah, actually, it's normal.
Okay.
Except when everything is on fire, and that's not normal, right?
When the building is just falling apart.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I think with the correct process, we can mitigate some issues we can face, right, in the different projects when releasing. Releasing is not an easy part because we have fear, we have some issues over there that we can have to figure out how to solve immediately, right? And there's a lot of stories too of failing on the product releasing that we cannot mention here. I cannot. I don't want to, to scare you. But yeah, so basically, this is the product cycle that we do. Like is like endless, like the DevOps cycle as well. So basically, that's what I want to talk to you guys. Do you have final impressions? Do you want to say something to the world before going off?
Well, I would like to say thank you. I would like to say thank you for listening this episode. Just a quick overview. We talk about the product development cycle. Is seven steps. 7 steps is brainstorming, UX, MVP, UI, coding, testing, and product release. We will post a new blog post about the product development cycle. Maybe you can get more information about that in a blog and that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, we always share this knowledge over the different platforms we have, right?
Exactly. And maybe we can detail every single steps in a new episode.
Yeah, like tools for every step, frameworks, languages,
experience, exactly. So, what's on the table? What's next?
Well, next we are going to talk about DevOps and blockchains. There will be good talks. I hope you can listen to us the next week. So that's everything from my side. Thank you guys for being here to stop coding, Ivan, and doing this. As Allan said, you can hear us in the different platforms.
Yep.
You can follow us on the different social networks that 4Geeks has, and also you can always share this. Make a huge community about this, and we will share for sure more and more content. Okay, so thank you guys again, and bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You can subscribe from the podcast tapped on your device so you can listen to the latest episodes. Don't forget to rate us. That helps us reach out to more people. If you want to get the best out of your business, feel free to contact us at 4geeks.io/contact.